What is the current state of chemical disposal at Marquette High School? What is Marquette High School doing in order to properly dispose of chemicals? What is Marquette doing in order to keep their students and teachers safe in a chemical accident? Pirating is not a victimless crime.
Marquette is taking the necessary requirements for chemical safety and disposal.
An example of chemical safety, the yellow structure is used to wash out the eyes in case of contact with the chemicals.
Our chemical lab is shut off from the general population to ensure safety and no accidents. However, if there are accidents that occur, there are proper stations to safely clean the eyes and other parts of the body. Also, to ensure that students do not get hurt if they are using chemicals that are being overwashed by teachers.
A way to improve chemical safety at Marquette University High School is providing more education on the matter of chemical safety. Currently, only sophomores and AP chemistry students are receiving the information on how to handle chemicals. If we could expand this to freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors, we could better prepare ourselves for an accident. Chemical safety is not an issue in the classrooms, but chemical safety is an issue when being disposed of. According to our interview, hazardous chemicals are not disposed of as outlined by their MSDS sheets. Thankfully, the chemical issue can be resolved easily with the help of the janitorial group and the science teachers devoting their time into properly disposing the chemicals by their guideline.
Okay, so the first method for schools to test radon is they take a small device and they put it inside the school, and it sits there for 2 to 90 days. And at the end of that 90-day period, they check for any indication of radon. Places in school that should be tested are places where students will occupy the building most often, such as classrooms, bathrooms. Places that shouldn't be tested would be places where not a lot of people go, such as supply closets and other just unoccupied areas. Detectors are usually placed in areas that won't be disturbed in the classroom, just so they can get a more accurate reading. Detecting radon is especially important because what it can do is when certain levels of radon enter schools and other buildings, it can be related to lung cancer, which actually right now causes more deaths than drunk driving per year at 21,000 deaths per year.
The current state of the school's ventilation system is all right. Almost every classroom has one of these types of ventilation systems. By law, the school has to have 10% outside air. During the summer, this air has to be cooled, and during the winter, it has to be warmed. And it successfully does this every year. All outside air has to be filtered in, and again, successfully does this. And these are the vents that are used to filter the outside air, and this air is then distributed across the building.
In order to maintain a clean and healthy environment in the building, Marquette has a scheduled cleaning session that takes place every day. These sessions take place after school when most of the students are gone. Several people are in charge of cleaning every classroom, hallway, and bathroom in the building. Classroom desks and chairs are sanitized and the floors are vacuumed to prevent dust from accumulating. Also, the garbage and recycling bins are emptied. Hallways are mopped and swept so that no trash is visible. Just as with classrooms, garbage and recycling bins around the building are emptied. Bathrooms are also cleaned thoroughly. The toilets are disinfected and the toilet paper is replaced with a new roll. Finally, if there is any mold or a sign of it or of dust accumulation, they take care of it.
We're here with Gichning and we're about to look at all the environmental issue facing our community. It is important to remember that when it comes to our community outside of school, it will represent us as much as we represent them. So if the community is not clean, it's a bad picture for for Marquette. So it should be our job and our goal for up to all of us to try to help it out and try to clean it up. And right now, let's look at what Senora Mansfield thought about all the issue facing our community. So then, like, what do you think is the next step in terms of, we talked to Dad once again, and he stated that in April, trash repicks, we doing trash repicks again. But do you think there's a step above trash repicks
for helping the neighborhood in general? That's a good question. Also had an invitation this year, which we couldn't do. Some people needed their apartments painted in that area. I don't know if that's helping the environment per se, but it's cleaning up, and we couldn't add that in. It was just impossible to put with the trash component. But there are a lot of needs in our community besides picking up things. Maybe advertising. I don't know, is there a way to advertise without creating trash that encourages the community to want to keep the area clean? I don't know. The playground too could use to be fixed in that community. And we one year did a little fixing on it, right? I don't know if it was a lot. We put a lot of focus into cleaning that playground anyway. But it would be neat to fix it more.
Currently, what the students are doing are something called Trash for Pizza, which has been going on for 3 years. It happens every April, and basically what we do is, what the organization does is they get neighborhood volunteers and get student volunteers, and they go outside and clean up basically around like a 4-block radius around the school. The advantages of this is that they do get volunteers from the neighborhood to come and help, and they split the day in half and half. So one half a group goes. Another thing they do is they're big volunteers for the Trash for Pizza because they do need people to kind of watch over the kids at the time. So
we have talked about the issue facing our community, and we have talked about how Marquette is doing to help our community. But I still believe that there's more that we can do. And which is why one of the main things is expanding our trash picks action. While trash picks is only once a year, we can start doing it once a semester, and creating more activities like trash picks to encourage students to understand that they play an important role in our community. And
are you positive you can handle this editing?
Yeah, I can handle it, man. We don't want to repeat it last time.
That's true.
Are there any pesky pests living in the corridors of Marquette University High School? Of course not. This isn't
Kettle Moraine or anything.
Hey man, did you hear about that insane guy that used to go to Kettle Marine?
What are you talking about, man?
Yeah, about 13 years ago, there was this guy named Joseph Meyer. I don't know if you've heard of him or not, but he was arrested for harboring like 32 rats, 64 cockroaches, and a koala in his gym locker. Yeah, wow. It's crazy. There was no control there whatsoever.
Wow, at Marquette, we have control.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of that wonderful school, Marquette, look where we are.
Oh, it's like Marquette to me.
Yeah. Maybe I should handle it.
No, I got it.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
MUHS ensures the safety of its students through many preventative measures. Instead of an IPM coordinator, we embrace a 25-year-old contract through Pest Patrol. Currently, we don't have a pest management policy since we have not suffered from any extraordinary infestations.
To guarantee the safety of our students, we have stepped away from the use of poison. Instead, we use live traps because of the numerous restrictions that come with poisons. The chance that these poisons will slip into our foods and kitchen areas and would cause horrible health risks and even death. Is this poison? I think I'm dying.
David G. Frank Landscaping takes care of all pesticides because high-end fields like Quad Park require it. To protect our students from these pesticides, we inhibit pesticide application around school grounds and we require an 8-hour drying time before anyone can enter these parks. Our school enforces strict recordation of all pesticide use so that we don't have to notify staff beforehand.
Our last few defenses against feathered creatures and winged beasts are the employment of coyote decoys and light flashing sensors that bother and scare away its targets like seagulls and other winged animals. Many different techniques and systems have been established to fight off an assortment of pests, but there is a secret practice older than time itself that can be executed in our daily lives that will make these many precautions unnecessary.
Take care of your food. Throw it away and don't let it sprout eyes in your locker. I mean, come on. That's just crazy. And if we don't work toward a cleaner school, some really horrible things can happen.
The rat population of the world is estimated to be 108 billion, 24 times the human population.
The current state of Marquette High outdoor inspection and what it's doing to ensure is the ventilation units are on and law says that 10% of the air has to come from the outside. Outdoor air takes are free of blockage as well as there's no bird or animal droppings by the air takes, as long as plumbing stacks are 10 feet from the air takes. Ground level vehicles idling outside the building for longer than 3 minutes. There are no air takes in that area, however. Garbage dumpsters are located outside the windows of rooms 101 and 102. There are no chimneys or other sources of pollutants near the school. The roof is in good repair. Water only pools on the roof for several days after drying up, for the building is designed that way. Exhaust fans operate and air is flowing out of them constantly. There is no evidence of bird or animal nests or droppings.
Marquette High School is up to par with the Wisconsin law that requires 10% of the air in the building to be brought in from the outdoors. The air that is brought into the school is brought in through a ventilation system which first purifies the air before releasing it into the school. The ventilation systems are constantly checked to make sure they are free of animal droppings, water, car exhaust, smoke, or other obstructions that may cause dirt to begin the air or block air from coming in. Although Marquette has a good air ventilation system, one of the biggest flaws of it though is that this area here has garbage cans right next to the windows and some vents that take in air. In that way, the fumes from the garbage waft into the school and can be hazardous to students and faculty. Another issue is that sometimes when cars are parked outside of the school while running waiting for students, the exhaust can get in through open doors and windows.
Oh, hi. I was just enjoying the view of Lake Michigan, one of Wisconsin's most beautiful natural landmarks. And you know what else is a great landmark of Wisconsin? A place called Marquette University High School. Just as we should take actions to preserve Lake Michigan's environmental health, we should do our part to keep Marquette healthy as well. The school does this with its chemical labeling and storing, pest control, energy efficiency, air quality checks, and community involvement. There are many ways in which we could improve our environmental health, but the best way is for all students and faculty to take personal accountability for their environmental impact. Whether it's cleaning up trash or spilled chemicals, we should all pitch in. With our future renovations, we should hope to see a more efficient and eco-friendly school. Thanks for watching.